mind, she declined to the first date. It was only on my birthday. Never mind all the lines on the highway. Give me time to reflect a bit, 'cause I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. I'm just having a good.
Food feeds our soul. It nourishes us and gives us strength to do great things each day. Cooking together creates lifelong memories. Food has a magical way of bringing us back to a specific moment in time. It is what connects us across the globe and across generations. The food we enjoy is a part of our ethnic identity. Hello, my name is Kyssara. I enjoy cooking for fun and would love for you to join me. Together, we'll learn how to make a few easy and delicious recipes. Let's get started.
Hi there, I'm Creamit the Frog, and today I would like to cook something with Kyssara. How are you today, Kyssara?
I'm good, but first before we cook, we need to follow some safety tips.
Sure.
Safety tips before you cook. Ask an adult permission before cooking. There should always be an adult in the kitchen with you when you are cooking. Wash your hands well before you begin handling food. Take extra caution when working with knives, hot liquids, and any appliances. Read labels carefully. Keep your cooking area tidy. If there's a spill, clean it up immediately. Okay, now that we've covered a few tips on how to cook safely, let's get cooking.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining me and learning a few new recipes. Today we'll be making a pan-roasted chicken with vegetables, a three-sister salad, and a homemade apple pie.
We'll be making pan-roasted chicken and vegetables. These are the ingredients: 2 pounds of red potatoes, 1 large onion chopped, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 garlic cloves minced, 1 1/4 cup of teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, divided, half a teaspoon of paprika, 6 bone-in chicken thighs, 6 cups of fresh baby spinach, and lemon wedges. Preheat oven to 425 degrees. In a large bowl, combine potatoes, onion, oil, garlic, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of fresh rosemary, or half a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Transfer to a large baking pan coated with cooking spray. In a small bowl, mix paprika and the remaining salt, rosemary, and pepper. Sprinkle chicken with paprika mixture. Arrange over vegetables. Life can be busy with school and after-school activities. It's great to have a few dishes that can be put together quickly. The nice thing about this easy dish is that it does not take long to prepare since all of the food goes in just one baking pan. Cook for 35 to 40 minutes. Remove chicken to a serving platter. Keep warm. Top vegetables with spinach. Roast until vegetables are tender and spinach is wilted. Serve with additional fresh rosemary and lemon wedges. Essence of life. It's not enough to notice the beautiful flowers as you walk past them. You need to reach for their soft petals, feel their essence. Remember what it is to grow.
We are here today to meet with Scott. Scott is a very talented chef. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me here.
How did you become interested in cooking?
Memories of childhood, memories with my grandparents, all my family. It was just really ingrained into me, I think, at a young age, seeing all the traditional food that I eat. And I think it's important to explore Indigenous food, but also on the platform that we're doing it, I never thought it would ever be. But all the attention we're getting and just the ability to have the story of regional cuisine through an Indigenous perspective, I think is important.
Where do you draw your inspiration from cooking?
A lot from my childhood. I draw it from the food memories that were gifted to me through my parents, through my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles. Just foraging on the land, hunting, just like really diving into my childhood. All those memories, I have so much memories as a child just eating food. Food was such a important part of our life. And as a kid, I could see that because every time we eaten, it was TVs off, we were at a table and just really communicating with each other and just, I guess you debriefing as a kid with your grandparents, with my aunties, with my parents, even with my sister.
Where do you get most of your ingredients from?
We try to be local. I think it's more sustainable, but also the Indigenous philosophy is like eating what's around you. And that's, as an urban Indigenous person, like the best way to do that is farmers market. Connecting with our butchers, like we work with a local butcher here in Edmonton where he sources a lot of his meat from like Wetaskiwin. We get our bison from Wetaskiwin, beef from around Alberta. And I think that's the most important because it's the most sustainable way of eating food, and really like supporting local is the most important part.
That sounds wonderful.
It is.
Is there a favorite dish you remember from your childhood?
Smoked goose with anaquino, so dumplings. It's a different form of bannock, but that dish is a process. So we start at like noon. They pluck the goose, break it down, start smoking it over the fire. And then during that waiting period, it was just storytelling, laughter, drinking tea. We drink a lot of tea. And then once it's smoked, we'd break it up with some root vegetables, put in a stew, smoke it, like just boil it over the fire and eat that with dumplings. And that's one of the biggest childhood memories of mine.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Kyssara, do you like salad?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're gonna be making a Three Sisters salad. Actually, that's one of my daughter's favorite dishes. So she loves the sweetness. It's bright, it's fresh, and there's different ways of doing it. So we'll teach you the fall version of it.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, Kyssara, we're gonna be doing the Three Sisters salad. So we're gonna be roasting the squash. We got our corn here, and we got our white beans. Three Sisters is just the way we grow our food. It's very popular. It's very important to our system. It's very important to our diets. You know how the corn grows, like very tall? And you know how beans like to climb? So beans actually climb up the corn. And then the squash kind of like protect it. But also the squash release nitrogen gas, which promote growth. So it's a very harmonious relationship between these three plants. And this is the fall version. Fall version, we call it takwakin, means fall. And in the summer, we'll use like fresh zucchinis, like yellow zucchinis, green zucchinis, very summery, very light. We have winter squash here. We got nice beans that are full of flavor and full of proteins.
How did you learn how to make the salad?
Before I started getting into like indigenous food, I started doing research and Three Sisters came up. So I asked my parents, they told me about it, and I'm like, okay. And it's a pre-contact dish if you think about it. All these ingredients were here before settlers came. So it was always in our diets. It's not all throughout Canada, it's just Southern Ontario, but there's also nations that only grow the two sisters, or there's a fourth sister. And then I made a salad. I just like kept it simple. I wanted to keep it fresh and simple, right? People like to complicate food. So we'll just dice this up and then roast it until it's like soft, fork tender. And you know, ever since I did this salad, it's just been a staple on our menu. So people always ask for it. And then you can season this. So just a little bit of oil, salt, pepper. Toss it up like this. And then that'll go in a roasting pan at 350 until soft. Or you can even go higher too. Get it charred a bit. Kyssara, we're gonna make a dressing. We're gonna use maple syrup for a sweetener. Mustard. Mustard really just helps it bind together. Red wine vinegar. And then you just want to emulsify it. And then we'll add our maple syrup. Add it to the same bowl we made our vinaigrette in. I'll add some of the corn. I'll add in some of the beans. Add in some of this vinaigrette here. We'll add in some color with some of this nice parsley here. And you can use honey. You could also make the vinaigrette with fresh lemon. If you want to go fancy, you could use some expensive olive oil. What do you think?
Tastes good.
Awesome.
Thank you, Scott, for teaching me how to make the Three Sisters salad. It looks amazing.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I enjoy teaching people and just really talking about the story of the Three Sisters. So thanks for coming by.
I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Feasts and festivals all around the world.
by Alice B. McGinty. Let's celebrate. It's time to feast. The holidays are here. There's food and fun around the world each season of the year. Who celebrates the New Year? China. Begin the Lunar New Year with lanterns glowing red. Feast on fish and dumplings for a lucky year ahead. Now cross the world to find a scene where buds burst open into green. Who celebrates in spring? Ireland. St. Patrick's Day, a green parade, huge meals of Irish stew, a shamrock painted on your face, 3 leaves, bright and new. Head east to find a cooling treat, a festival that beats the heat. Who celebrates in April? Thailand. Cleanse yourself. It's Songkran. The weather makes you sweat, so feast on cooling dishes and get very, very wet.
Now we're going to make Dad's secret apple pie recipe. These are the ingredients: 2 pie crusts, 2 medium thinly sliced peeled apples, 3/4 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 3 tablespoons of butter. These are the instructions. Heat oven to 425 Fahrenheit. Place 1 pie crust in ungreased 9-inch glass pie plate. Core and peel apples. Slice the apples. Place apples in a bowl and set to the side. In a second bowl mix 1 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of flour, 1/8 teaspoon of salt. In a large bowl, gently mix filling ingredients. Sprinkle 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg on the top of the pie filling. Sprinkle 1/8 of a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon on top of the pie filling. Slowly pour the sugar, flour, and salt mixture over the apples, mixing to coat all the apples. Add 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice to the apples and mix. Spoon the apple mixture on the top of the pie crust in the pan. Place dots of butter on top of the filling, using about 1 teaspoon of butter. Top with the second crust. Wrap crust under bottom crust edge, pressing edges together to seal. I have an apple tree in my backyard. Every year, at the end of summer, my family and I pick the apples off the tree. We'll normally have 3 large bowls full of tart green apples. With the apples, we love to bake apple pies. Cut slits in top crust. Bake 40 to 45 minutes or until apples are tender and crust is golden brown. Cool on cooking rack before serving. And enjoy the apple pie.
Every culture has its own unique celebrations. Whichever special occasion you are celebrating, whether it be a large or an intimate gathering, there is one thing that remains true everywhere around the world. Rituals and celebrations help ground us in tradition. It gives us the opportunity to feel excited about what's to come, to laugh, to cry, and to create special memories together as a community.